So, y'all got the rules? Questions. No speeches. Questions. And we're going to try, because we got a time. We got a time. We want to thank, where's the Black Student Assembly? Who's the representative of the Black Student Assembly? Come on. Collection, before we start, we would not be here on this campus if it was not by the Black Student Assembly, the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I know they thought I forgot about it, but I'm saving the best for last. Give a word, brother.
I just pretty much want to thank everybody for coming out today, because a lot of people worked very hard to put this event together. We've been trying to make this message, widespread, get voting, and student participation, student activism, on the top of the priority list of the students and the people in our community. This is something that's been going on for a long time, and I'm just glad to see this many people out here, with open ears and open minds, ready to receive this message and go back to their homes and community and really spread this across, because this is something that's really important to all of us. Just want to thank you guys again for being out here.
Thank you. Let's hear it for the students. Black Student Alliance. Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. All right. Now, we're going to take the questions, and we're going to try to give you can ask a question to a particular member of the panel, or you can just ask a general question. We love it. This is about positive uplift, so we want to hear from you. All right, let's begin the Los Angeles Summit with our first question. Yes, brother.
First of all, I want to thank you very much for this opportunity, and I want to try to recommend people to really focus in on the internet. We're talking numbers. You're talking about 60,000 people. People don't realize how important the internet has been as far as for the voice for the community. So on behalf, I'm the founder of hiphopdirectory.com. If you've ever done a search, you already know. I want to know what is the Summit, Hip Hop Summit doing to reach out to various hip hop websites.
All right, thank you. I can answer that and allow others to chime in. If you go to our website, hsan.org, we'll see we now have a number of links to other hip hop sites. The Hip Hop Summit Action Network is nonprofit, nonpartisan, but we do form relationships with other brothers and sisters who are trying to reach that word. And you make a very valid point. Sometimes we underestimate how interconnected we are, how internet related we are. 10,000 of the 60,000 actually was done over the internet. So your point is valid, but we do need to strengthen.
Right.
You see, one of the reasons why we have low voter turnout is that we don't know our names, addresses, emails, text messaging. And so every person we are registered, Damon, we're building a trackable database. And we're gonna, Professor Dyson, use that trackable database. You're gonna get an email from Damon Dash, from P. Diddy, from Russell Simmons, and from Beyonce, and from Ludacris, and Foxy Brown, and many others, to encourage you to go out to the polls in November. And so we're going to be using all forms of mass communication, including the internet.
Yeah, please reach out.
We will do.
We got a lot of hip hop sites that are on, hundreds of hip hop sites that are listed on our directory at the same time.
Well, let's talk offline and let's get it on.
Let's do it.
All right, thank you. Over here, yes.
Good afternoon, my name is T. The question is for the whole panel. What can the youth and students do to challenge the militarization in the schools? I'm tired of seeing all these people come up and say, I have to go fight for this country, la la la, to get financial aid and the whole thing like that. And the next point is, who can we as youth turn to see this develop where we have a more diverse representation as far as conscious artists, be it in Canada, be it in Mexico, be it in Africa, be it in the islands. How can we see a holistic representation of artists on stage? And how can I get in contact with people?
All right, thank you. You have two questions. Who wants to respond first? Damon?
I think I can respond to the first one very generally. I think the first step, as far as what we're doing with this Hip Hop Summit, is not only registering people to vote, but showing that together we can actually speak on other things as well. So the more we support this one cause, I mean, we cannot knock out everything in one time, but incrementally, as I said before, imagine what we're going to be in 10 years. So in a minute, every issue that you do have could be like, well, I'm just going to go tell the Hip Hop Summit. And that might be a couple of million people knocking on somebody's door, which is why it's so important that we all stick together on that level. I get about the other questions, someone else can answer, but all I know is that these places, from what I know, for them to be represented properly, they got to come to where it's going down. You know what I'm saying? So if hip hop is strong in New York or LA or wherever it is, those people have to do a little bit of traveling and come take that spot over and bring a little bit of respectability as to what they do and survive here, and then they'll be listened to and respected. But I think right now, hip-hop's in a place where anything will be accepted. Not to plug Kanye, but, I mean, he's not the traditional hip-hop dude. He walks around with a picture with his collar up. And so we're accepting anything right now. That's what hip-hop is. It's a very dynamic culture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, anything is possible. All you have to do is have talent. But you do gotta put the work in. I never thought it would happen.
Can I jump on that too? I think in terms of your question about the militarization of schools, the critical importance for young people to understand is that often our schools are being turned into warehouses for people to go to juvenile detention centers and then being held in juvenile detention centers until they go to the real university for people of color, which is the prison industrial complex. So the thing you got to think about is the fact that if you got more money being spent on jails than spent on schools, we're here in California. This is the cutting edge of the prison industrial complex. They're building more jail cells for young people, and especially people of color, than they are providing opportunities for scholarships to be able to go on. So it's important, right? Very important, Brother Dan said. It's very important for you to understand that the critical intelligence you have, often there's a difference between schooling and education. You might hate school, but don't hate education. Schooling is an institution that houses the ability for you to engage in lesson plans. Education is about an ongoing process where you inform yourself and enlighten yourself about what the consequences of your choices are and about the world in which you live, how the folk who are politicians are responsible for you and to you. And as a result of that, you got to step up. And I think finally the question about the conscious artists versus the unconscious artists, you know, I was howling at Most Def, and Most Def said, look, I'm not mad at people who do like Juvenile or Ghetto Project and all that kind of stuff. I just want to see the other cats represented. So look, back in the day, you might have Will Smith, right? Charlie Mack is the first out the limo with Chuck D. Elvis was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me. Straight up racist, the sucker was up on plane, right? At the same show. Now we got such a rigid division between so-called commercial artists and those on the top versus those who are politically conscious. I think we should have all of them involved, right? So it's not a matter of, we got outlaws sitting up here. You think about a guy like Tupac, Somebody Wake Me Up Dreaming, started as a seed in semen, swimming upstream, planted in the womb while screaming. On the top was my pops, my Holland stop from a single drop. This is what they got? And at the same time, he said, just the other day, I got lynched by some crooked cops. And to this day, them same cops on the beat getting major pay. But when I get my check, they taking tax out, so we paying the cops to knock the blacks out. You got to join social substance, get your so-called thug on, and bring those together to unite them. And you're gonna be, if you want to be a serious gangster, a serious pimp, a serious thug, be an educated, enlightened, articulate person who can then leverage the authority of your culture to the other.
All right. I told you, you got a question, we got to answer. Beautiful. Let's keep it moving. Yes, sir.
Hi, good day, how you doing?
All right, man.
My name is Steve, I'm from Philly, and my question today has to do with film.
Okay.
It looks like on stage it's like probably $1 billion up there right now, so I was wondering in terms of producers and the hip hop guys right now that are getting their own labels, getting a lot of money. How are you guys kind of looking into the film industry in terms of getting the next, you know, the Black Cold Mountain, the Black Last Samurai, the Black Born Identity? You know, how are you guys trying to, I guess, are there any events that you're holding to try and get these writers out there that can do better films? I mean, we have good films, but we need even better ones because black people love films, and that's what we go to learn stuff besides music. So what are you guys doing to address that?
I'm going to directly address that because I'm going through it right now as we speak. Paid in Full, exactly. That was a film that went to Dimension, which is a place where they usually exploit my culture, and they try to advocate everything negative for $1. So when they signed us based on the fact that at the time Jay-Z had Hard Knock Life out there was factoring that we were going to do a movie about gangsters.